We tend to be unaware of the power we actually hold in our tongue. I think we can use our words to build each other up or just as easily tear each other down. I want to use my words to build people up, and that's why I thought this week's lesson was especially relevant, especially in the world we live in today. So today I want to discuss why I thought vocal variety, effective listening, and the seven deadly sins to avoid when speaking were of the utmost importance. To begin with, I think vocal variety is imperative so that we can keep our audience engaged. I personally struggle with some insecurity at the way my voice sounds. I've always gotten comments on, oh, wow, you have such a low voice, or oh, your voice is so unique. And it created some insecurity. So hearing it for my first time on audio, I was like, that's how I sound. But you know what? After reading this lesson, I was like, I'm going to just embrace how I sound. Our voices are magical, they are unique, and we need to utilize that. I think it's important to, have the variety, the different range, so that we're not speaking very monotone. I liked how it was pointed out that speaking very high as opposed to very low can create just different emphasis on certain subjects, and it can show certain passions and importance in what we're discussing or delivering our speech about. Um, and I think, too, it just allows the audience to stay captivated and listening, which brings me to my next topic, how to be an effective listener. I was blown away that 40 to 70% of communication is actually listening. And I think oftentimes we're so quick to speak that we're not even listening to what's being said to us. We interrupt, or we don't even acknowledge that the other person is speaking because we're more focused on what we want to say. I think listening is so important, and I think in order to be an effective listener, you have to minimize distractions. You have to stay relaxed. And again, I feel it was interesting that eye contact was brought up again. I feel eye contact is important when listening because it shows that you are connected to whoever is speaking. I used to let my mind wander when someone was talking to me. My eyes would go down or up, and I was never relaxed. And I think it was because I was nervous. I thought it was awkward to maintain eye contact, and it really stemmed from my own insecurities. And then, two, people thought it was disrespectful. They were like, why is this person not looking at me? Or why is she so fidgety when I'm trying to speak to her? And it offended some people. And when they brought it to my attention, I realized, wow, the body language was all wrong. I was not listening to this person as I should be. And people pick up on that. So I think in order to be an effective listener, we have to maintain that eye contact. We have to minimize the distractions because otherwise we're not really listening to what's being said. Um, I want to move on because I thought it was also important to understand how to deliver something someone wants to listen to. How can we assure that or ensure that someone wants to listen to what we have to say? That resonated with me because when I put something out there, I want it to be received well, and I think it was beneficial to know things to avoid when delivering a speech so that I can make sure my audience is listening to what I have to say. I thought I liked the way he described it, the seven deadly sins to avoid when speaking. And it's so true. I think especially in this world that we live in, these seven bad habits are important to understand so that we don't find ourselves getting caught up in them. And I think so. To begin with, he discussed gossip. We want to avoid gossiping about people. Some people do want to listen to gossip, but is that worth sharing? I mean, life is so short. Do we really want to waste it on useless information? I also, again, moving on to, negativity. There's already so much negativity in this world. Why spread more? I mean, you turn on the news, negative, negative, negative. Some people want to just listen to that. But again, how will we guarantee people want to listen to that? I mean, I think it's important to have positive things to talk about, avoid the negativity, and also judging. Oftentimes, I mean, when I have found myself talking to friends, we're talking about other people. No one wants to listen to that. And then complaining. Oh my goodness, that is the worst. Who wants to listen to someone complain? It just brings you down. It's not fun. And sooner or later, the person will just walk away. They have their own stuff to worry about. They don't want to listen to you complaining about stuff they probably have already complained about themselves. And then the excuses. I know people who are notorious for this. They want to pass the buck to someone else and complain. And then, make excuses for why their life is the way they are, or complain about how certain circumstances are. Again, it just brings your audience down. No one wants to listen to that. And then also, too, they brought up lying. The truth speaks for itself. I am a firm believer in that. The truth speaks for itself. So if someone stands up on stage and is lying, people are going to see right through it. They're not going to think you are a credible source. And more than likely, they're going to walk away, and they are not going to care about what you have to say. Some people, too, tend to stand up and exaggerate certain things. You're like, really? I've seen it happen, and you kind of start tuning it out, and you wait for it to be over. And that is not something I want to put out into this world. I don't think it's something other people should be putting out into this world. So let's just be truthful, be transparent. People will appreciate that, and they're going to want to hear what you have to say. They're going to listen to what you have to say if you're just real, honest, and open. One thing that I've noticed I see a lot is dogmatism. People want to go up there and preach what they believe. While that can be effective, I don't think that's a smart way to go, because it's somewhat biased. It's extremely biased. I mean, so oftentimes in this world, people are confusing facts with opinions. And we all have our own personal beliefs, and that is okay. But in order to be an effective speaker and guarantee that your audience wants to hear what you have to say, you cannot stand up there and act like you know everything. You cannot say that you are better than them, because it just will create a wall, and they will probably tune you out. Again, you need to be aware of what your audience wants to hear, possibly even what they believe, so that you can relate to them, that they will want to know what you have to say, ultimately allowing you to have the most effect on them. I really hope you guys take some of these nuggets as I did, and maybe you will also agree that you will agree that what I thought was important, that you will think it was important as well. I discussed the importance of vocal variety, how to be an effective listener, and how to speak so people will want to listen to what you have to say. I think, again, this world's already full of negativity. Let's use our tongue to spread kindness and love. I thank you so much for listening today. Bye.